There is a lot of things going on in today's world, but in this video, I want to talk about how to be a better man, how you should add testosterone, whatever. I'm here to tell you my point of view, and I want to start this video mentioning this book, which is one of the best so far that I ever read, The Courage to Be Disliked. It is a masterpiece, and I do really recommend to each person, not only men. It talks about the Adlerian psychology, which is pretty similar like the Stoicism psychology. And one of the rules or one of the topics that this book talks is other people's task and the task in general. Me as an individual, I'm completely different. I have different thoughts than you. And you don't have to expect that I'm going to think like the way that you want, because that's my task. Okay? If that makes sense? So for example, another way to see it, if I'm gonna make content online and all the people that is, online, they enjoying it or they not enjoying it, it's not my task to be liked by anyone, because my message is direct to a certain people. So I don't pretend to be liked by a man or a mom of, 15 years old who has a completely different mindset, right? Because my message, my point is not going to resonate with this type of people, because it's out of my control. And this is really interesting because it makes me think about, in today's world, we have people, saying to us how we should act, how we, have to be in a certain way to have success, So from someone who is 25 years old, for those one who don't know me, you can follow me on Instagram. Is literally my name is I am Nahu on Instagram. So as someone who have achieved his dream life, I'm living out of my country in Europe, doing what I love, working online, and just exposing my ideas and my message, because I know that in today's world, be like I as a man or be a man is like a bad word, for some people, because they imagine like bad things. But I'm here to tell you, not about testosterone or whatever. Like, this is not the video. The video from today is from my perspective, and the things that makes me realize and think, and observe what I have to do in order to achieve my goals, because my goals are completely different than yours. So I want to talk about my career or my point of view based on my goals. When I started in Argentina doing too many things. Like I was working, in all the stuff, not fitness related, but I was with this clear mindset when I was, not sure what is going on in the future. What I was sure about the final mission, like the final goal. I want to make a living doing what I love, teaching people online how to get, in shape and how to improve their mindset. That's what I'm doing in today's day, in current day. So I want to go back and tell you which way it makes or it made more sense for me in that moment, and telling you why I'm here, like what makes me be in this point at this point where I'm posting YouTube videos, I'm doing what I want, making money online. I just want to be super straight and clear. So with that being said, that if you get drunk, there's nothing positive. That if you smoke weed or cigarette, it's not going to affect in any positive way. So listen to the older people sometimes, because they got the experience. And I'm telling you from someone who was not focused on listening to anyone. I was going straight. Even if I don't know, if I face a wall, I'm gonna keep going straight. And that makes me realize the importance or understanding, what other people's thoughts and why they are thinking in that way. So then I think and I say, okay, this is what is going to help me, this is not going to help me, why makes more sense for me or less. So as a man, you have to think over your actions and see your environment, because your environment is really important. And that's the second thing. Don't get drunk, don't like smoke weed. There is nothing positive on that. Like, if you want to hang out, there is so many different ways to enjoy, and you are not restricting yourself to the life beneficials. Because as a young guy, I'm 25, I'm still learning. I can tell you that I didn't sacrifice my entire 20s to get in the place that I am, because I'm still 20 and I'm already living in the way that I want to live. So with that being said, look at your environment. Tell me your 5 friends and I will tell you who you are. There is a reason for that. And if you have a, I don't know, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, and that person is not aligned with you, I'm not saying that you have to separate or go by your own. Is sit down, talk with that person, and start understanding why they think in that way, and try to, expose or express yourself in a different way. Because if people is not taking you seriously, it's because of your actions. So if you are saying, I'm gonna get, straight to the gym, I'm gonna get in shape, I'm gonna be more disciplined, I'm gonna be, more focused on my goals, and then there is like 2 or 3 weeks and you are lost, and you are just, going with the momentum without any plan, any goal, what you can expect from those people. So sit down, be honest with yourself as a real man, because a real man is not like the strong man, the muscular. The strong man is, the person who is intelligent, who is smart, and is honest with their self, because with their environment. If you're not accepting in the place where you are, don't expect that some, I don't know, things are going to change. Because if you don't change on your inside, nothing is going to change on the outside. What I'm saying, I know what most people are going to take from this video is, yeah, your situation, it is completely different than mine. And that's the 4th step, or the 4th thing that I consider as not as a problem, as a limitation, which is the excuses. On the video that I mentioned, on the book that I mentioned at the beginning, The Courage to be Disliked, it mentioned multiple times that you are the person that have to take action and can change. So sometimes we create scenarios and we create excuses to make ourselves feel not too bad. Because in our deepest of your heart, already why you doing in that way, why you are acting in that way, and why you are making all those excuses. Because if I'm sitting down with you, I don't know you, you don't know me, and we start speaking each other, we start meeting, we start this conversation where, I'm telling you who I am, you are telling me who I am, who you are, sorry. And you are making all these excuses of time, but then you realize that you got 1-2 hours to focus on your, goals and your plan. What is the point, right? Like, from someone who don't know you, you have to be honest with yourself and stop making excuses. So that's the point, you know, from this topic. You gotta be honest with yourself, because if not, who is gonna take action if you are not taking action on your own life? It doesn't make sense. Keep wasting time. I just want to be straight and clear. Another thing that came to my mind now is with this example. I started this YouTube channel way out of my comfort zone. Go out of your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is killing you. It's an extra with the excuses. So in order to start creating and building the person that you want to become with those results, you gotta play out of the comfort zone. And if you're not taking risk, I'm not saying that you are not a real man, but I mean, from my point of view, you really are someone who wants to play safe. So as I said before, don't expect too much if you are not making, if you're not taking risks. Because number one, people, like tell me one person who have been, doing a lot of things with a lot of success that is not telling to the audience or to their community, don't take risks. Because that's where everything starts. When you start taking more risk, is where you start playing more of your out person. So when you start working out of your comfort zone, you start knowing yourself even more. Because if you are, let me tell you an example. This is like a dramatic example, right? If you're in a situation where someone else is, I don't know, is about to shoot into you, or not shooting, but it's with an arm, right? Why, like, how you are going to act, you don't know, because you never been in that situation. So you don't know how you are going to act. Some people, they are quiet. Some people, they get aggressive. Some people act in a different way. But until you are not there, you don't know. So that was a dramatic example, right? But what I'm trying to say is, when I make the decision to go out of my country and start explore the world, I start knowing myself even more, and I start building my real personality, because I take the risk and it was completely out of my comfort zone. That was the message for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to follow on my Instagram. I am Nahu, and see you on the next one.